Today's piece is Sergeant Slaughter from the G.I. Joe Classified series. And this piece was actually gifted to me by one of my best friends. So shout out to Brendan. Thank you, brother. We're going to get into this one. And the packaging, to me, it was very upsetting. I don't like what they're doing now. Hasbro is using nothing but cardboard, but they're not even giving you a window to look at the figure. The box art's, the artwork itself is fine. Okay, wow, great. But that looks more like the back of a box than the front of it. The side is fine. That looks all right. Um, the showing the figure like this, it's great. You can see all the accessories, but they're missing the mark. They're missing something big here. If you can't see the product you're about to buy, there's a problem there. This is a digital render of the piece, and then you have another photography shot of it. I'm sorry if there's blemishes, if there's paint jobs that are kind of screwed up. You want to make sure, especially as a collector, that you have something that looks good. It looks right, you know? But anyway, um, here's what the figure actually looks like when you do take him out of the box. And again, I think it looks really good. They hit a fine line between having those kind of cartoon comic book proportions mixed with some of what the actual Sergeant Slaughter looks like. So I thought that was interesting how they did that. And when you do put the hat and glasses on, oh my God, this thing is perfect. But yeah, I want to get back to the packaging for a second because this is a waste. This is an absolute waste of paper. These companies claim to be, they're looking out for the environment. And yeah, well, you're chopping down a bunch of trees to put out this kind of crap. And all this cardboard, all this paper, his glasses are in here. Like, it's just as unnecessary in every possible way. Then you have extra accessories in a bag. Like, what? I don't understand what they're doing. But yeah, this is what was in the bag. There's actual other stuff that didn't need to be wrapped the way it was. He does come with a little figure, but I'll get into all this as well. But yeah, so you have loose pieces anyway. It makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason to why they were doing this. But here is the figure just with the hat on, rotating base, just a neutral pose. And again, I think this looks awesome. In the cartoon, he was huge. He was a beast. So they made sure they gave him the big arms and everything, which I think that the arms are reuse. And I'm saying that because they're not pinless. And more of the new figures do have pinless joints all over. It looks like his legs are new because those are pinless, but yet the arms are not. So that's interesting. And considering this is a more expensive figure, you have your standard figures range about $22.99 to $25.99, depending on where you are in the country and all that. And this guy was closer to about 35. And if you get him in a specialty store, you're looking at around $45, something like that. So, yeah, kind of crazy. But yeah, he does come with a little toy version of himself, which there's a throwback to some of the older material that's out there. I believe they mentioned in the cartoon as well. But yeah, no, it looks great. I like how they did this. And yeah, you could kind of get him out if you want. I'm leaving it in there. I don't need to have it loose in his hand. He does come with a machine gun, which he had two parts that were separate and in that loose bag. And it is literally the flashlight on the side and the like that banana clip, or the magazine, however you want to call it. Those are the two separate pieces, which again, kind of unnecessary. You could have just molded this as one piece onto the gun. I don't know. Some of the choices that they make still, I'm confused by. But the details are great. The weapon does look fantastic. The glasses look really nice as well. I like that they did that kind of gray on it, and depending how you shine the light, you could get a nice good shine out of those sunglasses, so that was cool. He comes with the whistle, which again, it works fine. It looks good. You can put it on his neck, and you can get all different poses out of him and stuff. Like, if you want to make it in a running pose and whatnot, it'll go up. The hat is really fantastic too. Great fit. I like the plastic that they used. Here's his little whip thing. I don't know the name of this, but um, I thought it looked nice for how they have it. He does have a bunch of different hands. So you have the closed fist, because he used to, in the cartoons and stuff, just beat the crap out of people with his bare hands. He does have trigger finger hands, but you could use it also like to hold the glasses and whatnot. And you have like the gripping hands, so like he's ready to grab somebody. So the details are really nice on that. And he does have his pointing hands, so get over here, maggot. So good stuff, good stuff. The pins are extra long. That I don't understand why they did. But articulation-wise, fantastic range. He looks all the way up. He looks all the way down. His chin could touch his chest. So that was good. He does have side to side in there, a little bit of pivot. Head goes all the way around. So that's excellent. And, some articulation in that neck. Again, like I said, you could move the whistle around since it's more solid. Butterfly joints that are kind of unnecessary because you don't get much of a range. You do have the ball joints for the shoulders, biceps go all the way around. He does have the double hinge for the elbow. But again, there are pins there. It's not pinless because I believe it's reused from another figure. He does have wrist articulation, with the hinge. Speaking of hinge, they gave him the hinge abs. This, I still don't understand why they're using that. You're better off with the diaphragm and then that lower joint. Because on this one, they put the lower joint where you get the pivot, which I think it's a mistake, to be quite honest. Legs go out to the side. You definitely do the Van Damme splits. He does have drop-down legs, so got to be careful how you do your articulation there. Upper thigh. He does have double hinge for the knee. He has rotation by the boot on the top there. He has the ankle swivel and hinge, so you could get you could get him in some great poses for sure. Here's another nice shot, him all together. And I want to do more like a simple pose as well for you guys, and him standing beside his figure. I think they did a great job. The paint job is very, very clean on him. You got to give him big props on that for Hasbro. Paint application is fantastic. There's like no blemishes on this guy. But again, for the prices that they're charging now, it's getting kind of ridiculous. Again, I want to thank my friend for gifting this one to me. I do have the Valaverse Sergeant Slaughter, and I will be showing him during this as well, so you guys get a good kind of comparison. And that is a very nice figure as well. I'm not going to knock that because I think they did an excellent job. It is a little more stylized than this one, but this is a slightly larger figure, and they made sure to give him the bulk on the upper half for sure, which works. It looks really good. So hell yeah. I love the poses you could put. You could put this guy in. This is kind of like the Sergeant Slaughter figure like you always wanted as a kid, basically. So, Classified, it is a great line, but it's a very, very difficult line to find. I know a lot of places like Big Bad Toy Store, they sell them. When they're in stock, they pretty much fly. I know Hasbro themselves, they have it, but Hasbro, they charge extra money all the time. And then in certain figures too, you need to be part of like their special membership thing, which is like an extra $50, and that's highway robbery. But here he is with one of the twins. I forgot if this was Tomax or Zaymont, but beautiful. That's another beautiful figure. I do have both of them, so maybe I'll do a full review on those guys. I only did a short on them, but like I said, you could get really great poses out of these figures. I love the scale, the extra details, and how they went a little bit more, traditional. they listen to the fans on that aspect. Because I know like the first line, they try to update some of the stuff, and people wanted more of the classic look. So, I mean, they gave it to us. So height-wise, you know, like I said, Sergeant Slaughter is a taller figure. He's a bigger guy. You know, the actual Sergeant Slaughter, awesome dude. And he actually gave me a retweet and stuff and props on my Valaverse review. So thank you, Sarge. And yeah, so here are both of his figures together. And I do like both of them, you know. They each have pluses and minuses. I'd say the G.I. Joe Classified probably has more pluses for sure. The company's been around longer. I think they know what they were doing with the aesthetic and the look of him and getting more accurate to the cartoon, which is excellent. But Valaverse, he is, you know, it's in its own specific line, so you could get more of the traditional look that that piece does come off of his chest. His head is a little bit more comic book like they made the chin really big. The hat is a little different too. I prefer the hat on this Sergeant Slaughter for sure. I think the fit is fantastic. You could, you know, it really holds. It holds well. So it's a slightly softer plastic, so it could grip the head better. And depending how you position it too, it could definitely hold the glasses on in a very solid way. So you're all good there for sure. And yeah, I will link the Valaverse one at the end of this video as well, so you can see the full breakdown on that one. But yeah, all in all, this figure is absolutely beautiful, nearly perfect. You know, a slight takeaway would be definitely the packaging, and just some of my own personal minor critiques. But figure is amazing. Hi, for anyone looking for some amazing comic books, this is part of my collection. I am the artist and creator of Shadow of the Kraken. This is a beautiful pirate story, 52 pages, beautiful artwork. Yeah, everything you need out of a great pirate story, you're right here. We have City of Venus. It's a futuristic story, also another one that I totally created. Beautiful, if you love kind of post-apocalyptic worlds, beautiful women, sci-fi, action. This has a little bit of everything in it. So if you're looking for that, on that campaign, you could also get, for a limited time, volume 1 and 2 of my art books. These are loaded with amazing images, 52 pages each. Yeah, they got pretty much everything you need in there. And we have, of course, hardcover book. This is Through the Woods, co-created and written by Frankie Tartamella, my brother. And yeah, I did all the artwork. This is 100 pages. You get the entire story in here, beginning, middle, end. You get all of it, and it is truly amazing. So if you're looking for a great ghost story, this is definitely the book for you. Just click the link in the descriptions, and yeah, these books ship immediately.